Well, hello, welcome wherever you are joining us around the world. Welcome to Riyadh and welcome to a place called Boulevard World. It's like they've picked up little parts of the world and sprinkled it all here in Riyadh. We are now just days away from the iconic Day of Reckoning. This Saturday night, one of the best, one of the biggest, one of the most talent-laden cards ever put together in the history of boxing will take place. And speaking of talent, I've got a lot of talent with me. I've got a former IBF World Middleweight Champion in Darren Barker. I'm not going to stop, Darren. I'm not going to stop. I'll give you your flowers. And of course, a giant of boxing broadcasting, Mr. Andy Clark. Gentlemen, how are we?
Very well, thank you. I mean, look, the big kid that has come out of me. Looking around, it's incredible. Roller coasters, everything. Yeah, I am thrilled to be here.
We had a little walk around. We got dropped off quite far away, Andy, earlier on. It's quite good, this, isn't it?
It's great. It's great. We got dropped off by the Eiffel Tower over there, so we gave it the full Phileas Fogg on the way around, which was very enjoyable. It's a great place, this, isn't it? Because sometimes with grand arrivals, the arrivals sometimes are not all that grand, but this is very, very grand.
This is quite something, Darren. Now, I'm sure you've been through you've obviously been through many fight weeks in your time. Have you ever seen anything like this to kick off fight week?
No, I haven't. This is special. The build-up is something, but the show itself is something. It's what dreams are made of. Like, look, I'm a boxing fan first and foremost. You see that card and you think, that's my Christmas present. It's something to withhold. It's brilliant, and you just got to look around. I mean, I don't know if you can see shots. It's just spectacular where we are, and it really does have that mega fight, mega show feel to it.
There's going to be a lot of fighters here, a lot of heavyweights, a lot of testosterone, a lot of, look, I'm just going to cut to it, a lot of Jarrell Big Baby Miller, who's been causing a real storm this week. What are you expecting today, Andy? Any sort of shenanigans? What do you think?
I guess it kind of depends what order they come in, because if he's in close proximity to Dubois or Joshua, then he'll try it, I think. He can't help it. It's who he is. He's the archetypal guy who could start an argument in an empty room. He's one of them, isn't he? So, yeah, maybe.
Maybe indeed. Well, what we're going to do now, we're going to go over to our MC for the evening, the one and only Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand arrivals as we get ready for Day of Reckoning, a great night of World Championship Boxing to be held this Saturday, December 23rd, from the Kingdom Arena, Boulevard City in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We would first like to extend a big thank you to His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, Turkey Al-Sheikh. This great event is presented by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions for Riyadh Season and National Events Center in association with the General Entertainment Authority, Gold Star Promotions, and Sella. It will be televised globally on DAZN pay-per-view and in the UK and Ireland on TNT Sports Box Office. Well, let's first welcome from Perth, Western Australia. He has a professional record of 41 wins, 2 defeats, 2 draws, 36 wins. Coming by way of knockout, here is Mark, the Viking Demori.
To Filip Hrgović on Saturday.
Yeah, he's been full of fighting talk, hasn't he? I don't think he's going to wake up on Sunday morning and wonder what might have happened if he hadn't let his hands go. I think he's just going to give it a crack. He knows Hrgović is number one with the IBF, and for that reason, if he can get the win, then he jumps straight into the top of the shop, which is exactly what he's planning to do.
Well, let's bring in Mr. Mark Demori. Great to see you, Mark. Mark, what an occasion, what an event. How does it feel to be here?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, I've been involved in some big shows, but this is a whole new level.
I was just saying, Mark, that you don't strike me as the kind of guy who's going to wake up on Sunday morning and wonder what might have happened if you'd let your hands go. You definitely come to fight.
No, I'm pretty sure that I need to start in 4th gear. Hrgović is an incredible boxer. I lived in Croatia 10 years. I followed his career. I know how good he is. He's got a great chin. I need to start flat out. The first few rounds are going to be to my advantage. The longer it goes, the longer his jab's going to feel punching in my face.
I hate to say it because I'm the same age. I'm 41.
Yeah.
But how much is left at 41 for you?
Maybe I'm an anomaly, I don't know, but I feel better now than when I was 21. However, I'm a little bit different in the way I take a shot. When I was young, I would just walk through them. Now I have to be a little bit smarter, a little bit more strategic about how I engage.
At the opening press conference, you talked about rupturing spleens. I've been hearing about breaking ribs in sparring and all sorts. You're really up for this, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty aware that I'm not going to win this on technique. I'm going to win this on brutal power, and that's how I've managed to overcome a lot of guys that were just better than me. If you got crazy punching power, I look at Deontay Wilder. I think he's overcome some much more technically gifted guys just by having a wicked right hand. So that's the beauty of heavyweight boxing. I remember Ismail Salas, who you guys will probably know, was coaching Hay, and I said to him once, why are the Cubans such good fighters, but when they go pro, your heavyweights don't perform? He said, heavyweight boxing's about power.
So is it, for you, is this about nullifying the work of Hrgović by getting close, roughing him up, getting in on his chest and working away?
I trained in Croatia with Croatian trainers. I know their style. I call it the Soviet style. They like distance, they don't like to fight inside. And I'm quite unpredictable for them because I've studied that Western style of boxing. They throw a jab cross hook. They repeat. They're very disciplined, which is great. However, it can be predictable. I can try and read him, try and counter between those combinations.
And in terms of this opportunity, how did it come about for you? When did you get that call, and what did you think when you got that call?
Well, I've been rumoured to be in some big fights in the last few years. Corona happened, a few things, stopped it. I've been boxing in Indonesia. I won the Indonesian heavyweight title, which doesn't rank outside Indonesia, but I was still boxing. My manager called me and said, do you want to do it? And he told me how much money, and I said, that's 2 reasons why I want to do it. So yeah, why not?
That's a fantastic note to finish on. Mark, really looking forward to chatting to you this week. I think you're going to have a lot to say, and you were a lot of fun at the launch press conference, and we'll let you crack on and go and do some media. Good to see you, my friend.
All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you. I'll take that mic off you.
Yeah.
Well, that is...
That's right, yeah.
Oh, he remembers that you fought
it.
Daniel Gill, eh?
Not many mum and dad used their Andy and him.
So, well, actually, we're going to head right back to our MC, Thomas Treiber.
And now let's welcome, coming to us from Croatia, undefeated with 16 wins, 13 of his 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Filip Animal Hrgović.
Here comes Filip Hrgović, the IBF mandatory challenger, the man in line to the throne, putting it all on the line, and really a chance for him to make a big statement on Saturday.
Yeah, look, this is the show where you really want to turn some heads. Look, we've seen some really, really good, and we've seen some not so good from Hrgović. I expect him to look $1 million, if I'm honest, on Saturday. I think he should deal with Demori quite comfortably. On form, he's a very tough man to beat, but I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination he's a finished article.
No, I'm with you, because he had all sorts of things going on when he boxed Yilei Zhang that year. It was a hard year for him.
Well, here is Mr. Filip Hrgović. Great to see you, Filip. Look, this is an event featuring some of the very best heavyweights in the world. We couldn't do it without you. It must be great to be here.
It's excellent to be here. Thanks to Saudi Arabia, to His Excellency Mr. Turkey, to everyone involved with this event. And I'm happy to be part of this. It's amazing experience. I'm 3rd time in Saudi Arabia, and every time it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to Saturday.
I just been speaking to your opponent, and he said he's going to come close, get on the chest. How do you cope with that kind of pressure? Are you going to mix fire with fire?
Yeah, I need to keep my distance, to be careful. I have a longer reach, and he will look for his chance, of course. I think he'll start aggressive and try to surprise me, but I need to keep my distance and find my pace, find my rhythm, and knock him out.
Yeah.
That's easy. That's easy, man.
You've had some difficult times in the last couple of years, but this week, you seem very relaxed. You seem very happy, and as we always say, a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter.
Yeah, I'm happy. I feel like the best time of my career is coming. The best few years are in front of me. I had a lot of struggles, a lot of problems with the matchmaking, with finding opponents, with postponements, and everything. Last few years were very, very difficult, but I endured, and I feel like the best is yet to come for me. I'm still young for a heavyweight. I'm undefeated. I might be a mandatory challenger next in the line for the winner of Fury Usyk, and I feel like I'll become the champion next year, and I feel like the best few years are gonna be the best years of my career.
So making sure that you win Saturday night, the fight after has to be a world title shot for you.
Yeah, that's the IBF already declared that winner must face me next or vacate the title if they're gonna go for a rematch. So after long wait, finally I got my time has come, and looking forward to get my chance for a world title shot.
Philip, you are risking that position. We've seen in recent months, actually just this year gone, Joe Joyce was also mandatory. He risked his position. He lost his position. You are taking on all the risk here. You must be thinking about that.
Yeah, it's big pressure for me, you know. Mark Demori has nothing to lose. I have a lot to lose, and all the pressure is on me. And yeah, stepping in the ring is always risking. You saw Fury Ngannou fight, the man who never fought before in a boxing ring, knock his down, almost win the fight, and it's risk. Every time it's risk, but I'm prepared very well. I trained serious for this fight, and I did everything what I can do. So I believe God have a beautiful plan for me and for my life.
Well, Philip, we wish you the best of luck. There's so much media waiting to speak with you. We're going to let you go. Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
All the best.
Pleasure
Good
to
luck.
speak.
Well, that is the man they call El Animal. Cool, calm, relaxed, isn't he?
He does look relaxed. He does look calm.
Yeah, he really does, and you know he's someone I followed closely in the amateurs, and it's interesting to see actually because the big three when he was in the amateurs were him, Tony Yoka and Joe Joyce and Ivan Ditchko, but he's not done too much since he turned pro, and he's kind of, it's a bit of an exaggeration to say the last man standing, but Yoka's lost 3 in a row and he's probably pretty much done. Joe's lost 2 in a row and he'll be back, I'm sure, but you know it's going to be hard, whereas he's undefeated. You know, he's homing in on a world title shot.
And I still think we're yet to see the best of Filip Hrgović.
Yeah,
I think the best of him is still out there, and that's exciting.
Can't wait for that. Well, let's go back over to our MC, Thomas Treiber.
And now let's welcome from New Zealand and the challenger this Saturday night. He brings a professional record consisting of 20 wins, 2 defeats, 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Junior Farr.
Well, here comes the giant New Zealand man, Junior Farr, former Commonwealth Games bronze medalist in 2010, represented Tonga, and listen, he's got a tall task in front of him on Saturday night.
Yeah, he does in kind of every sense of the word, really. But I don't know. He's one of these guys who, having got the call for this, will realise that this is a massive shot window. Whatever happens, obviously he'll be convinced that he's going to win. But a good performance here, and you never know what it might do for you. We saw him against Joseph Parker, ran him very close in that fight. That was a massive fight down in New Zealand. Then the defeat against Lucas Brown was more unexpected, I would say. But he's had a win since then.
Well, here is Mr. Junior Farr. How are we?
Yeah, very good, very good. It's a beautiful place, so yeah.
I've seen you've been taking it in a little bit this week. You've been having a look around. You enjoying Riyadh?
100%. To be honest though, but this is probably the first time that I've been outside the hotel. You know, I've just been focused on my training and my resting. But just to come out and just kind of like, you know, take all this in, man, this is a beautiful, beautiful country.
It's a big opportunity for our man here.
Yeah, Junior, I was just saying as you walked over that this is such a big platform that obviously you think you're going to win your fight, but it's win, lose or draw, a good performance, and you never know what it could do for you.
Yeah, this is a life-changing type of event. this is a massive chance that I have here to change my life and turn my career around into a good direction. So like, you know, I've been training hard for the past few weeks, and I'm going to take the best opportunity that I can to get the win.
Does that add pressure for you, knowing a win here can really catapult you into some huge fights?
A little bit of pressure, but I know I'm seen as the underdog, so you know, not too much pressure in terms of that. But I do expect a lot of things from myself, so I'm putting pressure on myself because I know I can do this and I know I can perform, and I will perform on the night.
Frank Sanchez, you know, he's one of the best heavyweights out there, right? He's pretty good. What's the plan?
Throw a left, throw a right, get him out of there.
hit him more than he hits you.
100%.
He's the kind of guy, though, isn't he, who I remember seeing his fight against F.A. Jagber, and he won that fight and made it really tough for a Jagber. And he's really well ranked, Sanchez, but he's a kind of bloke who, if you're above him in the rankings, you don't want to fight him because, I mean, he's hard work, isn't he? He's not a typical heavyweight.
He is a very good clever boxer, Cuban. So brilliant boxing skills there. I definitely know what I'm in for the night, and like, you know, I've trained accordingly for that. I'm going to execute my plan and just try and like, you know, try and make it a hard night for him, make it a good night for me, and then go home back to the kids and just, like, you know, celebrate Christmas.
Junior, we can't wait. Best of luck to you. There's so much media that want to talk to you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good to see you.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
almost got me. I think there's going to be a lot of that tonight. Well, let's go back to our MC, Thomas Treiber.
And now let's welcome a native of Cuba, now making his home in Miami, Florida, USA, undefeated with 23 wins, 16 of his 23 wins coming by way of knockout. This Saturday, he will be the reigning and defending WBC Continental Americas heavyweight champion, Frank the Cuban Flash Sanchez.
Well, there you can see right there, Frank Sanchez, widely seen as one of the best heavyweights in the world. He is unbeaten so far. There's no blueprint so far on how to beat this guy, Darren.
Yeah, look, he's a very, very good fighter, brilliant amateur pedigree. But against Alexander last time out, he was shook in the first round. So, you know, if you're a heavyweight out there, you'd be thinking, look, if I can get to him and I can tag him, I've got a chance of hurting him.
Well, here is Mr. Frank Sanchez. Great to see you. Is there a translator who's going to help us as well? Well, Frank Sanchez, it must be great to be here. Look around. This is a beautiful city.
¿Qué piensas en un lugar fantástico, no?
No, está bien bonito este lugar y la verdad estoy bien contento y agradecido de estar aquí en esta función, en esta cartelera. Me siento bien feliz y bien orgulloso de estar aquí en Arabia Saudita.
Okay. Yeah, he's privileged to be here, very happy, and yeah, looking forward to the fight coming up this weekend.
Just asking, what does he know about Junior Farr? What kind of fight is he expecting from his opponent?
En su opinión, ¿qué tipo de boxeador es su oponente de este sábado?
Nada, mi oponente es un oponente bueno, ha tenido buenos resultados, pues yo vengo con todo, vengo a ganar, vengo bien preparado y vengo a dar otro paso más en mi carrera deportiva. Y nada, venimos a dar buen espectáculo, buen show. Y venimos a ganar.
Okay, so in the opinion of obviously Mr. Sanchez, he's very well prepared, he's a great fighter, and he thinks that it's going to be a very good fight, and he's very much looking forward to it.
Do you put any pressure on yourself going into this contest? I asked your opponent the same question. Knowing a win here can really push you onto bigger and better things.
Sí, en su opinión hay mucha presión para usted acá. Porque si tú ganas este partido sábado, es una buena oportunidad para usted acá en Saudi. ¿Qué piensas?
Sí, es buena oportunidad que tengo aquí. Entonces vamos a demostrar en la pelea que somos los mejores y venimos a ganar. Entonces con esta victoria pienso que me van a venir más oportunidades de poder pelear con Wilder, con Joshua, con los primeros peleadores del mundo.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So very much looking forward to the fight. It's a great opportunity to be here in Saudi, and yeah, he knows that the future obviously the result of this fight could obviously hold him in good stead against better opponents in the future, like obviously the number one on the card this weekend.
I saw an interview with you where you said, don't worry about Joshua, don't worry about Wilder, I'm the best heavyweight on this card. Do you really feel that you are the best heavyweight here?
En su opinión, hay noticias recientemente, usted fue hablando sobre usted es la última boxeador en el mundo. No necesita hablar o piensa sobre Joshua o otros boxeadores, solo número uno.
No, bueno, yo el número uno en el mundo quiero ser yo, pues yo quiero enfrentarlo a cualquiera de los peleadores, los primeros peleadores del mundo. Y yo sé que tengo para ser el campeón y lo voy a hacer, por favor de Dios.
Yeah. So yeah, he's saying he's not claiming that he's actually number one, but he's claiming that he's on that ladder and he's making his way, build himself up in the ranks, and that'll hopefully be the opportunity in the future.
Just very quickly, who do you think has a harder fight out of Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder?
¿Quién tiene la guerra más fuerte en su opinión? Who against him?
So Anthony Joshua.
Joshua y entre Wallin o Wilder Parker. En su opinión, ¿qué partido es más fuerte, más difícil?
Bueno, yo pienso que la pelea ahí entre ellos va a ser la más difícil ahí de Wilder, la pelea que tiene Wilder con Parker.
Yeah, so yeah, Parker. The Parker, yeah.
It's a harder fight.
Yeah, in his opinion, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Great to speak to you. We're going to let you go and speak to all of the media, and best of luck to you on Saturday.
Gracias, muchas gracias.
Well, that is Mr. Frank Sanchez. Let's head back over to Thomas Triber.
And now let's welcome, coming to us from Germany, the challenger this Saturday night. He brings an undefeated record with 22 wins, 15 of his 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Ajit Kabayel.
Here comes the unbeaten European heavyweight champion, Ajit Kabayel, and actually a two-time European heavyweight champion. And look, since that Chisora win, it was a few years ago, yeah, he hasn't really had that breakout fight, has he?
He's been a bit unlucky, to be honest, because he beat Chisora, back end of 2017, defended it, then vacated it because he felt like something was going to happen. Then we had COVID, then it looked like it would happen because he was bang in the fray to fight Tyson Fury December 2020 back in the UK, but a fight that in the end didn't end up happening, which would have been very disappointing for him. And really since then, he had been ticking over, but now he's won that European title back, and he's been waiting a long time for this.
Well, here he is. Let's speak to the man himself, Ajit Kabayel.
How are you guys? Good.
Hey. Beautiful city, isn't it? Come on.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. I'm really shocked.
I've seen you've been walking around. You've been doing a little bit of exploring as well in Riyadh as well. It looks like you've really taken it all in.
Yes, Riyadh is very beautiful. I don't know, never see this. I was never in my life in Dubai, and I see Riyadh is very beautiful. Really, really nice.
You're in. Look, there's no question. You're in with a monster on Saturday night.
Yeah.
How do you approach a fight with a guy like that?
This is Aslanbek is maybe he's a strong opponent. He's you see like a beast, And Saturday was a big challenge for me, and I train hard for this challenge. We give everything in the training camp, and Saturday night we will see. He is a monster or not monster.
You've waited a long time for this kind of opportunity, haven't you? Because you're a two-time European champion. It looked like you were going to fight Tyson Fury, and yeah, that breakout fight to step above European level, that's what you've been waiting for.
Yes, 100%. I wait long time for this for the chance, and you say Tyson Fury for 3 years, maybe I will fight with him in the Corona time, and after I will fight with AJ. Not coming, and now we fight with Aslanbek, and this is a level of the world. The level of the world. I will, challenge myself. Maybe I will give my best, and we will. I don't know what I say, on English, and we will make it shock the world on Saturday night. We give my best, and inshallah we win.
Do you see this as the toughest fight of your career?
Yes, 100%. Now I'm the big man. six year before I fight with Chisora, and now I'm 31 year old. I fight with Chisora. I was 25, and now this is the biggest fight of my career, 100%.
If you win Saturday, how far away from a world title shot are you?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not interested in what come after the fight. You know, I concentrate only Saturday night, and after the fight we will look. And when I come fight with AJ, I fight with AJ. When I come with Fury, I fight with Fury. We will see.
All right. How do you win the fight Saturday then?
Yeah, I give my best, and we will see. I win 100%. We will see.
You're obviously the kind of athlete, the kind of fighter who stays in shape, stays ready, because this was put together at fairly short notice, and it just shows if you do that, you never know what can happen.
Yes, this is a really big show, you know. This is this is in my career, really the biggest show of my career, you know. And yes, I'm happy that I'm here, you know. I'm a little bit nervous. First time in my career, too much cameras, and.
Well, you're taking it in your stride. You look relaxed.
Yes, thank you.
Tell me this: do you watch tape? Have you been watching tape of Makhmudov? Because all the tape I've seen, he just knocks guys out. Have you been not watching this kind of tape?
Yeah, we will see. I don't know. Makhmudov fighting his career, not the biggest name. Only when you see Takam, he fight with Takam, and he's good opponent for me. You know, I think for him it's the biggest challenge in his career. You know, and I'm not a trash talker. You know, I will only give my performance on Saturday night, and we will see what we will see.
No, I look forward to it. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Great to speak to you, Mr. Ajit Kabayal.
Thank you. Thanks.
Let's head back to our MC, Thomas Streiber.
And now let's welcome a native of Russia, now making his home in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. He is undefeated with 18 wins, 17 of his 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the reigning and defending NABF and WBA Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Arslanbek, the Lion Makhmudov.
Well, here is the giant, Arslanbek Makhmudov. Calls himself the Lion, and he's got quite the presence about him.
Oh, he's a beast. I can just see him in the distance there, and I'm a little nervous about him coming over, if I'm honest. He's a giant and so intimidating. He really is. I mean, last time out, it was just a brutal display of power punching with that right hand. He really is a beast, and he's someone I'm really looking forward to watching live in the flesh Saturday night.
Well, he's someone that you're about to speak to, Darren Barker. Great to see you, Arslanbek Makhmudov. Welcome back to Riyadh. You had a great time here last time. How are you enjoying Riyadh?
I'm so impressed. I love this place. I love Saudi Arabia. And the last show was so impressed, and I hope this show gonna be better.
It didn't last all that long, did it? your fight last time. It was a short fight in October against Junior Anthony Wright. Are you expecting a more difficult fight this time?
Yes, I expect more difficult fight because this fighter, my opponent, more experience, more top level, guy. And but I'm ready for the kind of. I need the kind of this fight. I'm ready for the kind of this fight, and yes, we will.
Do you think you're too big, too strong for Kabayel? Or is there more to you? I think your boxing gets overlooked sometimes.
We'll see in Saudi, but of course I think I have better boxing skills. And power stuff, all the stuff, and Saturday I go do my job. My job is always the same. My goal is destroy. That's it.
How far away are you, do you think, from world title level?
What?
How far away are you, do you think, from boxing for a world title?
I think it's close already. I'm already here, very close. Just it's a question of time, Gonna be soon. I hope so. Yeah.
Last time out in Riyadh, after you knocked out junior Anthony Wright, you gave a great kind of speech. The crowd seemed to really love you. They've really taken to you here. It must be a good feeling.
For sure, people here love me, and I love these people. And also, it's for me special. Saudi Arabia is a special place for me because every year I used to come for in Ramadan for Umrah. You know, that's why it's for me. It's my second house. You know, second home. You know, that's why I love this place. Yeah.
Your prediction for Saturday?
What?
Your prediction?
We'll see. Nobody knows, just God knows. I will do everything for win.
Wish you the best of luck. We'll see you tomorrow. Arslanbek Makhmudov, an absolute giant of a man. Look, I mean, you said you were sort of like half scared about meeting him. You've met him now. You all right?
Yeah, I'm more frightened, I think. Yeah, he's intimidating, that's for sure.
But look, this is a serious fight. I think this is a bit of a sleeper fight on the card. It's two unbeaten heavyweights. I don't think enough people are talking about this fight, so let's talk about it, Andy.
Yeah, I think Kabayel made a good point when he said that Arslanbek hasn't maybe boxed the best opposition, and that's true when you look at his record. He had a good win against Carlos Takam, but you know, Takam had his moments in that fight. He did look really impressive against junior Anthony Wright, whose company we very much enjoyed last time out, but he, I think, was surprised to get the call. It was a bit of a mismatch, to be perfectly honest. So I'd really love to see him tested, Makhmudov. I would really like to see him tested. It was quite entertaining to watch that though, because Darren said, you know, are you too big, too strong? And he hesitated, and then you just immediately said, well, I think the boxing skills are a bit overlooked, aren't they?
It was either that or start running away.
Darren Bokri shook by Arslanbek
absolutely.
Makhmudov. So look, how are we actually seeing this fight going?
Right, so look, I mean, it's the huge presence of Makhmudov against the smaller, I guess, more agile. I think Kabayel, if he's to win this fight...
Agile Kabayel?
Yeah, there you go. There you go, trademark it. I think he's got to be nimble, he's got to be quick, he can't be greedy. I think the jab to the body is key, he's a big target to work with. I think he's got to use the feet, he's got to be sensible with his positioning. He can't be backed up onto the ropes or in the corner, he's got to make himself back to the centre of the ring. And yeah, like I said, don't be greedy, but you can still be busy. And what I mean by that is throwing ones and twos, move, then again. I think if he stands in the trenches with that giant of a man there who chops down with a right hand, he's so dangerous with that shot. It could be an early night, so I think he's got to be disciplined and switched on.
How much can we read into his win over Carlos Takam? That's the standout win in Arslanbek Makhmudov's career so far. He had knocked everyone out. He nearly knocked out Takam immediately, but ended up getting extended the distance for the first time. What do we take from that?
I mean, it's a good win, you know. Takam has shown us that he's still at a decent level. Obviously, it didn't go his way when we saw him last time against Martin Bakole, but Bakole, I think people are realising more and more, really is a very high-level fighter. So that was a good win and some good matchmaking for Makhmudov. But he's co-promoted by Top Rank now. They took him to America. He got a win against a 15-0 fighter. So I feel like he's been moved well, but he now needs to be let off the leash because he's got good rankings. And Kabayel's a European champion, you know, so it's a good next step for him. But I would like it if Kabayel kind of posed him some problems. And I agree with what you said there. Discipline is the key for Kabayel, isn't it? The absolute key, because you cannot stand and trade with someone like him.
Brilliant matchmaking, though. I love this fight. Good fight.
I was surprised to see it when you just see two unbeaten heavyweights, because Kabayel for so long, as we talked about, has been linked to the big ones. Yeah. He's been linked to Tyson Fury. He's been linked with Anthony Joshua. He sparred half these guys as well, and it feels like he's been waiting to really capitalise on that Derek Chisora win. And he's got this monster in front of him before he's got to an Anthony Joshua or a Tyson Fury. It's quite the task.
Yeah, look, he's going to get paid well. Let's not forget that. But you don't want to wait around. You don't want to be sitting on your hands. I think you want to be busy. You want to prove you're the best. He does have the experience on his side. It's about going out there now and proving, sending shockwaves through the division, saying, look what I've done to this monster.
And that's what it would be. If he slays this monster, Andy, it says an awful lot about Agit Kabayel.
It'd be a huge win. It'd be a huge win. And it's been frustrating for him because when you're kind of tantalised by fights like Fury and Joshua, because you know that a fight like that, it puts you on the map. A good performance, win, lose or draw, it puts you on the map. And it never happened for him. And it could be easy to lose the faith sometimes in a sport like this because nothing's ever guaranteed. And then the phone rings and you get the invitation to come here, and all of a sudden it seems worth it. And that's what's happened to him basically. So, you know, I do make him the underdog against Makhmudov, but there's still plenty that we don't know about Makhmudov.
Yeah, it feels like we're going to learn a lot about both guys.
Yeah, do you know what? I think everyone on the card, away from this fight, I think if everyone puts a good account of themselves in the ring on Saturday night, they'll get another opportunity. That's the great thing about these shows.
Well, we've got another opportunity to hear the sultry tones of Mr. Thomas Schreiber.
Let's welcome from Bromley, Kent, England. He brings an undefeated record with 17 wins, 7 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the current WBO European Cruiserweight Champion, Ellis Zorro.
Well, here comes Ellis Zorro. Opportunity of a lifetime for the unbeaten London man. He's got the ultimate task in the cruiserweight division. He takes on Jai Opetaia, really the division's #1 on Saturday night.
Yeah, it doesn't get much tougher for Zorro. I mean, I was so impressed with Opetaia last time out against Jordan Thompson. Honestly, it was incredible. The point where I was sat at the commentary desk and I just couldn't wait to see him in action again.
Yeah, he's the business, isn't he? He really does look to be the goods. Martin Bowers just come over. Yeah, very well, thanks. Very well.
Well, let's bring in Mr. Ellis Zorro. Great to see you, Ellis. Listen, look, this is why you're in the sport, isn't it?
What an event, man. This whole week's been mind-blowing, man. Just to be a part of it, it's massive for me from where I come from, how I got into boxing, how I started. And yeah, this probably be the biggest fight of my whole career and the biggest event of my whole career. So yeah, I'm buzzing.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, because you know when you set out in this sport, like this is what you want. I didn't think it would like come this soon, like at this kind of notice. But yeah, I'm just embracing it. I'm taking it in.
It doesn't get much tougher, does it? You understand who's in front of you. What can you do though to nullify the good work that he does? Without giving too much away.
It's not even about giving it away. Like I'm 17-0 for a reason. I'm undefeated. 3 amateur fights. I've never lost any amateur fights. I've never actually lost. You know, so my mindset. I'm not familiar with losing. I'm not familiar with all the negativity that, understandably so, is coming from other people in terms of my experience and what he's done and whatever. But it just doesn't really faze me. Do you know what I mean? I'm just gonna go in there. It's just another fight for me.
Does that take a load off as well, pressure-wise for you? I know obviously you got aspirations of going on and winning this and shocking the world, but you're the underdog here. Takes an element of pressure away.
Yeah, but you know what? Just to be honest, I don't feel like I've really been the favourite in many of my fights. I wasn't favourite to beat Dex Spellman, win the boxer, or beat Jose Burton. Even though I was headlining, I still wasn't the favourite. So in terms of like how I feel about it, that's nothing new for me. I think it's just because of the magnitude of the event, a lot more people got a lot more to say. Do you understand?
How does mentality differ from those fights to this fight?
Just like embracing all this, if I'm honest. Like I think when the bell goes, it will just be another opponent in front of me. But yeah, the boxer was probably the biggest thing next to this, like the whole build-up and whatnot. But obviously, again, like being around Wilder and AJ, these guys, I come out watching these guys. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is a much bigger event.
I was just going to ask exactly the same thing. You know, you talked about it being just another fight, but then all of this is different. I mean, when the fight got made, did you kind of think to yourself, how am I going to approach this mentally? What will my mentality be? Because it is different, this.
Not really, no. Just to be really transparent with you, no. I wasn't thinking about my mentality or anything like that, no.
Ellis, I think 13 of your 17 fights have been at York Hall. This is not York Hall. This is all quite different. You ready for this?
Yeah, in my last fight, after the interview, I was like, oh, I really want to get out of York Hall. And I was thinking like Copper Box or O2. I wasn't thinking, you know, Saudi. But yeah, like I'm saying, I'm buzzing to be here and I'm embracing it all. I'm happy to be here.
It's great to see that you're buzzing. It's great to see you're embracing it. Ellis, best of luck to you. So much media wants to talk to you. We're going to let you crack on.
Thank you.
All the best, mate. All the best.
Thank you.
Well, that is Ellis Zorro. Big opportunity for him on Saturday night. Let's go back over to our MC, Thomas Schreiber.
And now let's welcome, coming to us from Sydney, Australia. He brings an undefeated record with 23 wins, 18 of his 23 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the current Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Champion, Jai Opetaia.
Well, here is the Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Champion, widely seen as the best in the division right now. Of course, couldn't be introduced there as the IBF champion because of what's happened this week as well. Here is Jai Opataya.
Just an animal, a beast. Like I say, I was sat at ringside with Tony Bellew watching him fight, and we just both looked at each other and said, wow, we can't wait to see him fight again. Just an absolute beast. He got tagged by Thompson, a huge cruiserweight. Shortly after, I finished the job.
Well, here is Mr. Jai Opataya. Great to see you. Yeah, you can't leave him out.
Oh, sorry, right? That was close for a second there.
So close,
sorry. I was going to try and start out.
Yeah, we can do it again. Listen, no, I'm
Oh,
gonna do this. Listen, Jai, you've had this focus about you all week. I've watched some of your interviews. You don't give much away. You ready to put on a show and show the world what you're all about on Saturday?
I'm locked in. All I'm thinking about is the fight. I'm not here for all these cameras and stuff. We promote the fight, but for me, it's just pure business.
We've spoken before you fight with Jordan Thompson, and the big question was the size of Jordan Thompson. You must take a lot of confidence away from that fight. There was a moment where he tagged you with a right hand, and you sort of just shrugged it off and landed big shots of your own. Going into this fight, you must take so much belief away from that last victory.
I do. It was a good performance, but at the same time, I've prepared for 12 rounds of war. I'm not expecting a repeat. It's easy to get sort of caught up in that sort of stuff, but I think Zora's a crafty little fighter. I've got to be careful, and just fight smart. That's what I do. Once we get in that ring, we adapt.
How did he differ from Jordan Thompson, Zoro?
Well, obviously the size is a lot different, and his hand speed's decent, but we get in there and we adapt. We feel the ring. I'm excited. I'm just excited to get in there and do what we do. Like I said, I'm ready for 12 rounds of war. If it goes to 12 rounds, I'm ready. I'm fast, I'm fit, I'm strong. Anything that comes at me, I'm ready.
We were talking yesterday about the grind of pro boxing and how at times you wondered whether it was worth it, those hard days in the gym when nothing's really happening, you're wondering what's coming next, and this is this is what it's all about, isn't it? This is what you've been doing it for.
It is, man. It's good to be here. It's good to be a part of building boxing legacy. You know what I mean? This is one of the biggest shows in history, so I'm honored to be here, but I'm pumped up, man. I just cannot wait to get in the ring and do what I do. So, I'm excited.
You did say yesterday too, I think when we'd finished recording actually, that you would fancy it at heavyweight at some point. I mean, that's probably a little way off yet, is it? But that's an ambition. Further down the track, man, why not? You know what I mean? And they've just bring in this bridgeweight as well. So 3-time world champion, 3-division world champion, I mean. So, the sky's the limit. And I'm 28, I'm just getting started, and I'm on this massive platform, bro. I'm pumped, you know what I mean? I've worked so hard to get here, and I'm here now, and I just cannot wait to step in the ring. It does sound like you rate Ellis Soro, though. People have been asking you about other stuff, other fighters, other champions, the whole IBF situation, but you do rate Ellis Soro. He is a task you've got in front of you on Saturday. 100%. I'm not looking past him at all. I've been pushing my body to the limits in the gym. I am training for the best version of Ellis Soro, the one that no one's seen yet. You know what I mean? This is his chance to become a world champion. He is who I was before I fought Breeders. You know what I mean? Nobody thought I had a chance. So that's why I expect someone like me coming. Someone young and hungry like myself. So, I'm preparing for someone like me.
Training like a challenger.
Oh, I'm ready. I just cannot wait to get the job done.
You faced off with him once, I think, so far at that launch press conference. How does he shape up to you? And, you talk about how he's basically you from before. Are you seeing that same look in his eyes?
I don't know. The energy's a bit different to mine. You know what I mean? I'm here to get a job done, but I'm not gonna let nothing fool me. Fighting in the ring's a completely different thing. So, I'm just gonna wait till we get in there and do my adapting there. So.
We can't wait for it. Great speaking to you, Jai Opataya. We're gonna let you go.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Cheers.
There is the Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Champion, Jai Opataya. Let's head back over to our MC for the evening, Thomas Schreiber.
And now let's welcome, coming to us from Manchester, England, he brings a professional record consisting of 23 wins, just one defeat, 16 of his 23 wins coming by way of knockout. This Saturday night, he will be the reigning and defending IBO light heavyweight champion of the world, defending his title, Lyndon King Arthur.
He's the IBO King, won that belt, of course, in a thriller against Brian Suarez. And again, guys, the opportunity of a lifetime for Lyndon Arthur.
It is, absolutely, and doesn't get any tougher than Dimitri Bivol, like it doesn't get any tougher for Elisoro than Jai Opetaia, but he was on good form when we spoke to him yesterday. He was on good form at the Lord's press conference as well. He's always on good form.
Always on good form, looking cool, looking calm. Lyndon Arthur. How is Riyadh treating Lyndon Arthur? I saw there was a robotic Hoover sort of getting in your way earlier in the hotel.
Yeah, no, that was it's an experience out here. I say that much. I've been shopping. I've been shopping. Been spending that Saudi money.
I ain't said it anymore.
No, it's amazing, man. Look, it's skeptical. I'm just happy to be. I'm happy to be a part of this whole event. It's crazy.
In terms of the preparation, you haven't had that long to prepare.
Yeah.
Tough task against someone like Bivol, but is it almost a good thing that you haven't had too long to think about this? You get offered the fight, you take the fight.
Look, it is what it is. If someone comes up to you in the street and says, let's fight, you don't get 10 weeks. And, you know, that's how I kind of looked at it, like, fuck it, we're here now, let's just do it. And Bivol's I was a fan of him, I'm a fan of him still, and I'll be a fan of him after it. He was one of the best pound for pound fighters who, why should I say no to that? Why should I not challenge that and see where I'm at? That's what we're in boxing for. So let's do it.
Tactically, without giving too much away, how do you approach this fight? Is it a battle of the jabs, the feet? Do you try and get in there and rough him up? How do you approach this fight?
Look, I've got a plan in my head, but Saturday it might be a bit different when you get in there and shit don't work. Bivol's a great operator, but I believe I am also. And I believe I will adapt to whatever is in the ring, and we'll find out Saturday.
Just go in there and give everything.
You
Make a good of account of yourself.
You know, it's a win-win situation for me, I believe. So, yeah.
Do you make him the number one in the division? I mean, it's him or Better Be, isn't it? One of the two.
I got asked that a while ago, and someone said, "Who do you think would win between him and Better Be?" I always thought the better boxer will always beat the better fighter. Well, I've sparred Better Be, and he's not just a brawler. He's not just a strong, come forward kind of fighter. He actually has got a boxing brain, and he's good at what he does. But I do believe Bivol has got the better boxing ability and would come through if they ever fought.
Obviously, Craig Richards shared the ring with Bivol. Yeah. Have you had any conversation with Craig about this fight?
I don't really know Craig like that.
No.
I'm not one to reach out and say what should I do. But I've watched the fight. I watched the fight a couple of weeks ago, and I see a few things in there. I'm hoping I'll be able to exploit on the fight night.
Lyndon, you're being written off. You're the underdog in this fight. A lot of people are saying Bivol's this, Bivol that. But the last time I remember you getting written off, hey, you beat Anthony Yarde. You were the underdog. Do you prefer this scenario where people are saying he's got no chance?
Oh, it is what it is. This is boxing. People are going to have their opinion. What opinions are like arseholes heard. So. You know, look, Saturday's a few days ago, and we'll see what happens.
Have you pictured this fight in your head?
Oh, every day since I knew I was fighting him. Every day, I've gone through the worst of the fight, and I've gone through the best of the fight, and hopefully with what I do, hopefully I'll bring the best out.
Okay, we can't wait for it. Best of luck to you on Saturday night, Lyndon Arthur.
Thank you very much. Good to see you.
There is Lyndon King Arthur. Let's head back over to King Thomas Triber.
And now let's welcome a native of Kyrgyzstan, now making his home in Indio, California, USA, undefeated with 21 wins, 11 wins by knockout. This Saturday night, he will be the reigning and defending WBA Super World Light Heavyweight Champion. Let's welcome Dimitri Bivol.
WBA heavyweight, light heavyweight champion, of course, Dimitri Bivol, one of the best fighters in the world.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I think a lot of people had his last fight, and I had over a year ago now, a close encounter against Ramirez, but he just schooled him. He was levels above, absolute levels above in every department. An exceptional fighter who can do it all. Speed, power. Fantastic fighter.
Here he is, Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri, you were here for the Battle of the Baddest. You watched Fury and Ngannou. I saw you there, and I knew you wanted to fight here. How does it feel to be here?
I'm so excited to get my fight, and I'm so excited to be the part of this huge event. Really great event. I never see big card like this before, to be honest.
Darren Barker here is a big fan of you.
Yeah, big fan, and your last performance against Ramirez. A lot of people were saying it could be a close fight. A lot of people were picking Ramirez. You must be so pleased with the way you performed that night.
People thought like it could be a close fight, but I did everything well because I had good training camp, and we just did job what we needed.
It's been quite a long time since you last boxed, though. Has that been frustrating?
Sorry?
Has it been frustrating that you've been out of the ring for a year?
No, not too much because I spent time with I spent good time because now I feel more fresh. Mind is clean, my body is more healthy now, and I'm ready and I'm hungry.
What do you know about your opponent, Lyndon Arthur?
He's a good fighter. He's IBO champion. He has good jab, good English boxing school, which I wanna try my skills against his boxing school.
Obviously, the other belts are currently with Artur Beterbiev, but Lyndon Arthur has that IBO belt. Is it important for you to get that belt and take that to your next fight?
For today, it's important for me because I made 10 defense of my title. Every time when I beat my opponents, I was just defending my belt, and I didn't get anything from them, you know. And now I want to get something, and it makes me more excited.
But you got a lot from when you beat Canelo. You got a lot of credit. That made you stand out.
Yeah. I got a lot attention from boxing fans and respect from boxing society. But I want something, materialistic like belt.
I'm not overlooking Saturday, but is the future light heavyweight for you?
Sorry.
But is your future, not looking beyond Saturday, but do you see yourself staying at light heavyweight for the remainder?
I have a plan to be undisputed champion. I have a dream in light heavyweight division, and I see it very close now. And of course, I want to be in light heavyweight division, and then we will see.
Heavy, cruiser, heavy?
We will see. I don't know.
You're that good.
You certainly got the skills. Look, we can't wait to watch you fight on Saturday night. Tremendous to have you on this show, and we wish you the best of luck on Saturday. Thank you, Dimitri.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Over to our MC, Thomas Schreiber.
And now let's welcome from Brooklyn, New York, USA, undefeated with 26 wins, 1 draw, 22 of his 26 wins, coming by way of knockout. Here is Jarrell Big Baby Miller.
Well, here comes the man they call Big Baby. He's fresh out of Brooklyn. This is a man who's been making a lot of noise this week in the Fight Hotel, confronting pretty much anyone who will look at him. Jarrell Big Baby Miller.
Yeah, absolutely. He's still undefeated. That kind of took me by surprise somehow when I looked at his record last week. He's not been active, though, is the thing. I remember me and Darren commentated on his fight against Bogdan Dinu, which was late 2018, and we know what's happened since then. He's failed a number of tests for performance-enhancing drugs, but he's cleared to fight on this card. He's only boxed 3 times in the last 5 years, so we don't really know what we're going to get, I don't think.
Well, let's see what we get. Yeah, let's see what we get right now. Jarrell Miller, great to see you.
How you doing?
Jarrell, look, from Brooklyn to Riyadh. Look around. What a night.
It's beautiful, man. What a fighter can ask more for, you know? Great place, great venue, you know, great atmosphere, and you know, it's gonna be a great night of fights.
Are you making up for a bit of lost time with this fight against Dubois because you've not been that active the last few years?
Oh, yeah, 100%. You know, they offered me Chisora at first. Chisora turned it down. Dubois turned on Joseph Park. I said, give me anybody. And Dubois was the first name that popped up, and he said he'll take the fight. I said, he's a dummy. Sign him up. Let's go.
What do you think of him as a boxer? What do you think of his skills?
I mean, he's decent. You know, good right hand. You know, most English fighters are very physically fit. You know, very you know, good jab, good right hand. Pretty basic, but there's something he's missing, that swag. And the most important on top of the swag and the fluidity movement is lack of heart. You know, and that's not something I'm just throwing out. It's proven fact that he's done it in fights where he looked like he's a quitter. When fights get tough as a fighter, you got to constantly keep pushing. That's the whole point.
How far off top form do you think you are? I mean, look, I think you'll be the first to admit you've not looked $1 million. You've not looked great since you've come back. Are you getting closer to top form?
Yeah, most definitely. I think after this fight I'll be about 80-90% where I want to go. I think it takes a little time to constantly staying busy, getting the right fights. And Dubois is a great stepping stone to get there. You know, so I said after him, we right back into the gym. You know, I have no doubt I'm going to stop him, and that's the whole point. You know, having confidence and courage and going in and getting the job done. But of course, the more that I stay busy, stay active, and I show what I can do, and of course, you know, I got a mouthpiece on me. People love that, so that's always going to keep me in the camera's eye. You know what I mean? But the main thing is going in and doing my job. You know what I mean? And God bless me with talent still to come out here and do what I got to do and keep improving.
Is it a case of you in this fight of trying to break Dubois' heart?
Of course, 100%. I mean, that's the main thing fighters do. Sometimes you got to break a guy's heart before you can get him out of there. You know, I'm aiming for the stoppage, but we're going to soften him up first. We know that he's durable for the first 5 rounds. We know he has a decent right hand and a good jab. So, you know, we're going to take our time. We're going to break him apart. You know, we're going to dissect him and then bully him and beat him up and send him home fried shrimp.
Speaking of breaking him apart, you and Anthony Joshua had to be broken apart yesterday. A couple of occasions. I've seen a few videos going around, Jarrell. What's been going on?
No, he didn't have to break us apart. You know, I mean, if I really want to, you know, push people buttons, that's easy to do. You know, I mean, I told security already and everybody, I'm not going to start nothing more than, you know, saying a couple words. That's part of boxing. That's part of entertainment. Sometimes you got to push guys' buttons. You know, I live rent-free in AJ's head, and so I got his buttons. Some guys, you got that one bully that always pick on you, and I'm that guy.
Is that the fight you want?
Yeah.
If you could pick any fight out there, is that the fight?
Yeah, because, you know, we have unfinished business. You know, unfortunately he has 3 losses now, but it is what it is. It's boxing. You know, he was saying that I'm on a different level. I'm like, no, you're not. You're like number 2 and 3. I'm number 4 or 5 right now. So we're right there. We can definitely make it happen. It's not unrealistic. It's more realistic than anything else. You know, after Tyson's going to be locked in with Usyk. You know, who else is there? You know, maybe Deontay, and that fight's not going to happen. I'm showing you that right now. So we have, you know, past beef and a past history. It'll be a great ticket seller and great pay-per-view.
Do you think he beats Otto Wallin?
It's a 50-50 fight in my head. And the reason why I say that, you know, Otto Wallin's a very durable guy. I've sparred with him. He knows how to mix it up. He has a great chin, and he's durable, you know, and he believes in his heart that he can win the fight. So my thing is, if AJ goes in for the kill, then we're going to see. But in my heart, I think it's a 50-50 fight.
I asked Frank Sanchez this. Who do you feel has the harder fight out of Anthony Joshua and Wilder?
Man, ask me a tough question. They're all 50-50 fights in my book. And the reason why is, you know, I'm a friend of Joseph Parker. I love Joseph Parker, but he's a great mover. He's a great boxer. If he doesn't get hit, Joseph Parker wins the fight. If he gets hit with the right hand, we know how that goes. So it's a 50-50 fight. Same thing in the next fight with Otto Wallin and AJ. Both good boxers, both great fighters, but is AJ the same fighter as he was before? And Otto Wallin's coming to prove a point. So in my hand, I think they're both tough fights, to tell you the truth. You know, but because Deontay has to equalize the punch, you kind of favored that AJ might have the tougher fight.
Well, Jarrell Miller, we could talk to you all day. I'm sure you could talk to us all day.
Of course,
and we may talk all day one day, but we're going to let you go, my friend. Plenty of people want to speak to you. Great to speak to you. Mr. Jarrell Miller. Let's head back over to Mr. Thomas Treiber, who has Daniel Dubois with him.
Let's welcome from Greenwich, London, England. He brings a professional record consisting of 19 wins, just 2 defeats, 18 of his 19 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former WBA regular heavyweight champion of the world, Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
Well, really taking it in. That is a good bit of posing there from Daniel Dubois, flexing those guns. Of course, the last time we saw him was against Alexander Usyk, a controversial fight. Some people call him an uncrowned heavyweight king. Here he is.
Do you know what? I'm interested to know where his head's at, because on one side he boxed really well against Usyk, and on the other side there was that, you know,
the way it finished.
The way it finished. And I'm just curious to where his confidence is at the moment.
Well, here is Mr. Daniel Dubois. Great to see you. Daniel, let's cut straight to it, right? I was checking social media this morning. I saw a video pop up. You and Jarrell Miller, hotel lobby, you doing this, him doing that. What happened?
I just got a bit lively there, you know? It's just, yeah, fight business. This is the game, mate. Hurting. It was good fun.
Big test for Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, absolutely. We all know it. But do you feel like it's good for you to get someone like him, not just in the ring, because we know what he brings in the ring, but outside the ring too, to kind of engage with you and just get you.
He
get
fires
your
you
juices
up,
flowing.
doesn't he? He fires up AJ. He fires up everyone. So it's all good. I feel like you need these type of characters for the shows like this, and yeah, I'm glad I'm gonna get on Saturday. I can't wait.
Where's your confidence at, your head at the minute? Because I was just saying before you come over, on one side you boxed well against Usyk, and then there was the finish, which wasn't great. How are you feeling? Where's confidence?
My confidence at the moment is they robbed me there. I won the fight. I knocked him down, and you know I feel like they cheated me out of that. But well, that's all led on to here, and I feel like this fight is the next chapter of my life and my career. So I got to make it count.
Tactically, is it about pushing him into deep waters, Miller? We've seen he's not looked great since he's come back. He's had that layoff and looks a bit sluggish, a little slow. Is it about making him work, making him feel, you know, that he's been out the ring a long time?
Yeah, unleashing the pain. Unleash the pain on him. That's the plan.
You do seem very relaxed. I just wonder if, you know, you went in as deep as anyone can go against Usyk because he's a unified heavyweight champion of the world. You swam in those waters, and is it a case of having done that, you think to yourself, actually, you know what, that wasn't as bad as I thought it might be?
No, it's just the whole experience as a whole, you know. It's, you know, just a learning experience from the fight, things happening around the event, and from now on, I need to make, you know, the next few fights, and you know, starting with this one, you know, perform really well.
Can't prediction.
Hey?
How'd you win?
I ain't around predictor, man, but
point stoppage.
Definitely sleeping him, and you know, get a great victory and a great performance.
Yeah.
Do you think this will be a hard fight, Daniel? You've had a couple of hard fights, the Joe Joyce, Alexander Usyk as well. Do you think he's of that mould? Can he give you a hard fight?
We'll wait and see. You know, I'm not overlooking him. I'm confident. You know, I'm ready to perform and show what I've got. You know, I expect him to bring his best. This is his opportunity as well. So it's all up for grabs. Let's get it on.
It feels like Jarrell Miller has been talking for years. He's been winding everyone up. Are you going to get extra satisfaction from being the man who gets the job done?
Definitely. On paper and everything, I can feel the people in the post back home. Do him, Dan. Do him, Dan.
I guess, look, you've experienced the good, the bad, the ugly. What you bring into this fight now, you're a more experienced fighter.
Absolutely. Fitter, definitely change, you know, just all-round different fighter and smarter fighter as well. So we can't wait to show it.
It's also, you've had longer with Don Charles.
Yeah.
You'd only just got with him, and all of a sudden you were fighting for the unified title against Usyk. How much are you going to benefit from this extra time with Don?
Big time. I feel like now we've learned a bit more about each other, you know, about our weaknesses and our strengths. So it's time to mold and, you know, get the match right. So everything's going well in that department.
He looks happy, and they say a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. So
right.
It could be a bad time for him to be fighting you.
Of course. He's going to find out.
Daniel, we can't wait to see this one on Saturday night. Best of luck to you, my friend.
Good stuff. Thank you, guys.
Let's head back over to the one and only Thomas Schreiber.
Let's now welcome International Boxing Hall of Fame promoter, Mr. Frank Warren.
One and only Frank Warren, quite an entrance there. And look, this is he's talked about a big game changer He's changed the game with what's going on here. We had the Battle of the Baddest a few months ago, and now here we are for the Day of Reckoning.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know what's coming next. We know what's coming on February the 17th. We know what's planned for March the 9th. These cards are coming at pace. I was chatting to him earlier today, and it never gets old, this sport, does it? No matter how long you've been doing it, and he's been at it a really long time, as has Bob Arum. When the two of them walked out of the Grand Arrivals last time, that was a great scene. And you just have to keep evolving and moving with the times and just checking the pulse of the sport, and he's done that for decades, and he's not stopping now, is he?
He's not stopping at all. Well, let's bring in Hall of Fame boxing promoter Frank Warren. Bring him in for a chat. Frank, how are we?
I'm good. How you doing? I like that, mate. It makes an effort, not like you two.
I know, we look like scruffs, don't we?
Just straight away.
Right, go on then. Right, what's happening?
So Frank, what's happening? I mean, you tell
What's
us.
happening?
Look around, Boulevard World.
Don't make out we're in Egypt, Athens. Yeah, it's all good. Look at that at the back. You can't see that. That looks brilliant. Yeah, marvellous, isn't it? Day of Reckoning. We're here. Well, we're how far away from the Day of Reckoning? 4 days.
4 days.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Great fights. Fabulous card. It's like never in my time of boxing have I seen a card like this. I think we've got, was it 8 or 9 of the top 14, 15 heavyweights in the world on one card, and 2 of them can't be on it because they're fighting on the 17th of February over here as well. So heavyweight heaven.
Heavyweight heaven, Andy.
Yeah, it is. It is. I was looking at the rankings last night, and I think with the WBC and the WBO, it's 9 out of the top 15, and with the other 2, it's 8. So, yeah, exactly. We thought we knew what we'd get on the 23rd of December. Originally, it would be Fury Usyk, and then this was put together at just breakneck speed. How was that behind the scenes? It must have been an interesting few days after October.
Look, you know, once the resources are there, and that makes it much easier to start with. But you've got to have the vision, the resources, and His Excellency and his team had that, along with all our team at Queensbury. And we worked with all the various promoters. Everybody cooperated to make this happen. We all put aside our differences, got on with it, and delivered the card. And it is a fabulous card, and I hope it's going to be the first of many where people are cooperating to give the fans the fights that they want to see.
We were just talking to Daniel Dubois, who's your guy on the card, and we were chatting about it earlier. And it's kind of make or break for him, really, isn't it?
Well, he is. I mean, look, his last fight, he should have won that fight. He hurt him. I'm not going to go into the big debate about low blow or not. I thought it was a legitimate blow, but he got 4 minutes unfairly what the referee gave him, despite the fact he wanted to carry on himself. And he seemed to, he went down. He sort of went. Look, he was down after that. I'm talking about during the fight. He should have gritted his teeth and put it on him, and I think he could have come through. But look, he never done it. He's got every physical attribute. He's a young man. He's got big punch. He can jab. He can move. He's got speed. People are doubting his commitment, and that is what this fight's all about. It's up to him now to prove to the public and to himself and to everybody around him that he wants to be in this business, that he wants a seat at the big table. He's got a great opportunity now against Gerald Miller, who's no slouch himself. I know he's past being a drug cheat and so forth, but he's cleaned himself up. He's licensed by the Nevada Commission. This is now Daniel's moment in time to go and show the world what he's all about. This is it. He's on a big stage. Go and do the business.
He looks happy, he looks confident, and I've just seen there seems to be a maturity about him. Have you noticed that, being around him?
It does seem a bit. Look, there's times when he's around all his family, sometimes he goes into his shell. When he's on his own, he's more open. He seems to be a little bit more relaxed in that going. I don't know. That's an observation from me over the time we've been dealing with him. But the fact of the matter is, he's been given what a lot of fighters haven't been given, great opportunities. He's worked for him in the ring, don't get me wrong, but we've worked very hard outside and got him these various chances on the big stage. This is a massive stage that he's on Saturday, a huge stage, and this is his chance now to go out and, as I said earlier, to show what he's all about. Because that's all we want to see. What is Daniel Dubois all about? Does he want it? And that's it.
And the main event fights, so Anthony Joshua, Otto Wallin, Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker. There's been a lot of talk about them being almost like semi-finals. Who's taking the bigger risk in those fights out of Joshua and Wilder?
Well, they both are. I mean, being blunt about it, look, they're two very, very good fighters. Both former world champions. Hold the title between them. Hold the title for over 10 years, I think. Both big punchers, but they're not champions anymore, and this is their chance for them to shine again. I think they've got tough fights, both of them. I think with AJ, he's fighting a southpaw. We know he struggled in the past with southpaws. He was also coming off of a really good win against Gassiev, but he seems pretty confident about it. You know, I mean, I don't know AJ, but what I've seen of him and his mannerisms and so forth, he seems very confident and at ease with himself. So this for him, again, is a massive opportunity to get himself into a position to fight for the world title once the two champions duke it out on the 17th of February. We have one champion then. Same situation is for Deontay. He's had one fight, in 2 years? 3 previous fights, drew one against Tyson, which I thought Tyson won, and lost the other 2. So he's also, this for him is a situation where he's coming into a fight and he has to shine. He's got to win the fight, and he's coming in against a guy who had a really good performance in Riyadh last time out in Joe Parker, and Joe Parker fancies the fight. Joe Parker's a close friend and trains all the time with Tyson, and you know Tyson's been giving him tips and telling him what he thinks and so forth, and he seems pretty confident. I was just talking to him in there, as I was with Deontay. They both seem very confident. The fact of the matter is you've got 2 very crucial fights for the 2 ex-champions, and for the 2 guys to challenge them, it's a chance for them to get a seat at the big table too. So you're going to get 2 competitive fights, there's no doubt about it. They'll be very, very good fights.
We can't wait for it, Frank. We're going to speak to you so much this week. I don't want to run it all out now. We're going to let you go and speak to all of the media.
We need to hear about the promo.
Oh yeah, no, just quickly. How was that promo? The zombie promo.
How was it for you?
I loved it.
Good, yeah. Should you start taking the makeup on or leave it on?
Great to see you, Frank.
Cheers, mate.
Warren.
Thanks.
Let's head back over to our MC, Thomas Stryber.
Let's welcome from South Auckland, New Zealand. He brings a professional record consisting of 33 wins, 3 defeats, with 23 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the current and reigning WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion and the former WBO Heavyweight Champion of the World, Joseph Parker.
It's the former WBO World Heavyweight Champion, Joseph Parker, and this is the fight. He says it's the biggest fight of his career so far against Deontay Wilder. Quite the task, maybe one of the hardest fights you can take out there as a heavyweight.
I'd say so, because we all know about Wilder's power. The only person who hasn't crumbled in the face of it is Tyson Fury, but I think he's a bit sick of hearing about it, Joseph, because the reality is, in heavyweight boxing, they're all capable of turning each other's lights out.
Mr. Joseph Parker, how are we? Listen, this is your second fight now in Riyadh. You put on quite a show last time. How is it different this time? How's the vibe?
The vibe is good. It's nice to be, listen, we're staying in a nice hotel with all the fighters. We've got our training times, we've got the team here, families here, and I think second time around, obviously it's a bigger fight, but familiar of Saudi Arabia. This is my 3rd time here, so it's good to be back.
You look happy, you look confident,
Yeah,
and I guess your last performance, look, I'm not saying Keane is any Wilder, but you can only beat us in front of you, and you looked very good.
Yeah, I feel like this year's been a good year, and I got good momentum, and even though the fighters are not on the same level as Wilder, but I feel confident going into this fight because of the work that I've done in training camp. And I know the last fight was a good win, but this is a different challenge altogether, and I'm excited for it.
31. It seems like you've been
I
around
feel like
forever.
I feel like I've been around for ages.
I mean, that's a compliment, by the way.
It does. I have been around for ages, 10, 11 years.
Yeah, it's
and I'm still going strong. Still in it, still hungry.
There's
still
a lot
determined.
of boxes tick for you now. Still 31, but you know, there's experience. There's some big wins there. You've got it all now. Is it now feel the time is right?
When I linked up with George Lockhart and Andy Lee, and it took a while, right? But I feel like now I feel like I'm alive again as a fighter, but I got all this experience, but I've restarted my career again. And I feel like this is, like Andy said, it's written in the stars. And listen, I feel good, had a great training camp, and I'm ready to rock and roll.
We were talking yesterday about how everybody's talking endlessly about Deontay Wilder's knockout power, and it's been well documented, but this is a heavyweight division, and you're well capable of knocking people out.
Listen, any heavyweight can knock out any heavyweight. I think any fighter can knock out any fighter. It depends on the punch, placement, at the right time. And I know everyone's talking about Deontay Wilder's knockout power, and rightly so, because he's knocked out everyone he's fought, except for Tyson Fury. But I can knock people out myself, and I feel like I've been working on my power, and I'm going to put it on display.
And what a man to have in your corner, someone who was in camp with Fury for that fight. So obviously Andy Lee helping a lot in preparation.
Andy Lee, with his experience and being around Tyson and his camp, he's able to come up with a good game plan. And I've also leaned on to Tyson for help as well.
Yeah.
So both of them together, I feel like I've had the best prep ever.
Brilliant.
I saw on your Instagram the other day that brilliant video went up to show sort of Joseph Parker through the ages, a youngster in the amateurs coming through, winning the world title. Can you believe sort of where you are, how far you've come?
Sometimes it's, when I think about it, it's amazing. Like I did put up that video and I saw myself and I was like, young Joseph, no beard. And then I listened to myself speak and I was like, who's that speaking? Like little squeaky voice. But now I'm here in Saudi Arabia and like this is the biggest event of the year, and I'm just excited to be a part of it, and like thanks to everyone involved for making this happen.
Brilliant speaking to you, Joseph Parker. We can't wait for this one. What a fight. We can't wait for this one. Great to speak to you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
All the best, Joe.
There is Joseph Parker, and now let's head back over to our MC Thomas Triber, who's about to introduce Deontay Wilder.
Let's now welcome from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, USA. He brings a professional record consisting of 43 wins, just 2 defeats, 1 draw, 42 of his 43 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former WBC heavyweight champion of the world, known as the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder.
Former reigning WBC World Heavyweight Champion Deontay Wilder. I mean, when he fights, you have to watch, and you can't afford to blink, Darren.
Yeah, you can't blink. Yeah, let alone go to the kitchen to make a cup of tea. Do not be doing that. You know, explosive. I was waiting for that. I was surprised that
an unexpected one yesterday. I always jumped out of my chair.
He destroyed me with that one when I was about to interview him. The famous Bomb Squad, the man himself, Mr. Deontay Wilder. He's going to come in here for a quick chat. Mr. Wilder, how are we? Great to see you.
Doing okay? Yeah, man. Blessings.
Deontay.
How you doing?
Here we are.
I love this. I love that. Looks amazing. Yes, indeed.
Here we are in Riyadh, a beautiful city.
Yes.
You're here in Boulevard World. Yeah. Are you taking a moment to just take it all in?
Well, I'm always taking a moment and taking it all in when I'm in a different culture. Different environment that I'm not used to, you know. So it's a beautiful country, it's beautiful people here, and they're all supporting something that I love, and that's the business of boxing. So when you have all those things combined together, it only equals a great time and moment. So I'm just taking it all in, me and my team and my family, and we're putting it in the memory bank. So when we get older, we'll say, you know, tell our grandkids what happened here on this moment in time, especially December the 23rd, Saturday, the day of reckoning.
We were speaking to Darren earlier, and Darren was talking about how you can't blink, you can't go for a drink, you can't do anything like that. Darren, tell this guy, he just knocks people out.
I mean, look, we know exactly how you fight. Is that a similar approach to this fight with Parker? All action in front of your man and looking for the knockout?
Most definitely. You know, that's what brings the excitement to the heavyweight division, the explosiveness, the excitement, and of course, the secret recipe, the knockout. You know, when people come to see heavyweight boxers, they come to see the knockout, you know. And
you gave a great analogy at the first press conference about a slam dunk. You got a 3-pointer, but nothing beats the slam dunk.
You know what I mean? So I just thank God that I'm blessed with a blessing and a curse within the right hand, that I can deliver and give people what they come to get dressed and pay their hard-earned money to see. You know, I always say women lie, men lie, but numbers don't lie. It's something that I'm naturally born with and I naturally can do. If you want to see knockouts, put Deontay Wilder on the card. You want to see excitement, put Deontay Wilder on the card. And I'm on the card, so I'm looking forward to Saturday night.
Has it been difficult at all fully focusing on Joe Parker? Because this has been sort of almost looked like two semi-finals.
Yeah.
You know, you win, AJ wins, and then you both fight. Has it been easy, tough to focus fully on this fight, knowing that potential mega fight is looming?
To be honest, it's I wouldn't say easy. You know, if I could demonstrate the level of it, I would say it's been in the middle. It's been really in the middle because I have Joseph Parker in front of me. You know, I never look past a fighter, but I do window shop. I do look through the glass window a little bit, but it's really been a medium type of environment or level for me because, you know, we're here for Joseph Parker, but everybody want AJ. Everybody, you know, that's been the biggest fight in the world, and it still is. It's been a moment where it's been hot and cold, hot and cold, and hot and cold, and every time the talks is talked about, the levels just goes up. This is what I found about the talks about me and him, is that no matter when it's talks, it's like it get cold, but then when it get back up, everybody gets excited. No matter what. It's like we haven't lost anybody that's not interested in it, you know, at all. You know, sometimes things can linger on too long where nobody finds interest in it no more. They're like, oh, whether it happens or not, we don't care. But when it talks about me and AJ, the excitement automatically just come out of people, and I'm looking forward to it if it happens, you know. But at this moment in time, my whole mentality, my whole mindset, mentally, physically, emotionally, I'm set on Joseph Parker. I'm definitely not looking past him at all.
Is it extra special being on a card where it's not just heavyweights, but it's dominated by the heavyweights? Because this isn't something we typically see, is it? I mean, about 8, 9. However many of the top 15 with all the sanctioning bodies all on this one card.
Man, this is beautiful. This is what makes this event so exciting, that you have nothing but heavyweights on this card, nothing but hard hitters, and I'm looking forward to being able to display my talent amongst the thousands that's going to be there and the millions that's going to be watching. I'm so happy that I'm a part of this event where this is filled with heavyweights on here, you know, some that I know and some that I don't know, you know, and some could be potential opponents in the future. So I'm just looking forward to it all. I'm just so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be around so many boxing fans and so many people that loving people, I would say. And what better place to be in than Riyadh?
What did you make of Jarrell Miller? Has been keeping himself very busy. He's been getting in the face of Anthony Joshua. He's been calling him all sorts. He's been confronting Daniel Dubois, who's actually going to fight. Have you been keeping an eye on it? What do you think of it all?
I try to mind my own business a little bit, but you know, you can't help due to the fact of the internet and you know, people have phones nowadays. So when things happen, that's the first thing people rather do, get their phones out than call 911. You know, and unfortunately, I have seen certain events where he have gotten into altercation with some of these guys, and some of my guys have shown me certain things. But you know, my main focus is on Joseph Parker. I don't try to get myself too caught up in the action or the motion of action of others. If he want to waste his time and energy on that, then, you know, it's entertaining for the eyes that's watching. But for me, I'm here for a purpose. I'm here for a job, and I must complete the job, complete the task, and get everything done that I set out to do.
I'm just expecting something fairly special in terms of your fight kit, because, I mean, you complimented me, so I feel like I should repay the compliment. But I'm a big fan of this gown.
Blessings.
What can we expect on the night?
Man, you can expect what you always looking to expect, to be sitting on the edge of your seat. You don't know what's going to happen, but when it's happened, bam, baby, good night. So don't get no one by you that's going to interrupt you, that's going to tap you on your shoulder. Go to the concession stands. And if you're at home, Get everything you need and sit it right by you. Because when Deontay Wilder come out and he's fight, at any given moment, at any given time, it could be bam, baby, good night, like I always say. And, you know, many people talk, but for me, when I talk, my numbers don't lie. This is what I do. God have truly blessed me with a blessing in the curve within the right hand. That's one of the reasons why I haven't had the opportunity to unify the division for many champions. Just like Joseph Parker. He said that he's so confident that he's gonna beat me, but I kind of find that hard to believe. And like how you believe in yourself when you're a challenger, but you don't believe in yourself when you was a champion. You know, so we're gonna see it on the night of the fight. I can't wait. I'm the best as I've ever been in my life. I feel great, and I'm looking forward to Saturday night. The talking is almost over. The week of the fight has begun, and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it all.
We spoke yesterday. You talked about how that goal remains. One champion, one name. I'll let you say it. Come on.
One champion, one face, one name. And that's one of the reasons why I'm still involving myself in the business of boxing. Because I have everything I need. I've accomplished so much. You're looking at a man with a statue, you know, so majority of my accomplishments has been set in stone within a statue, and the area where they put it in is historic. If anyone knows anything about, you know, where I come from and where it sits, you understand that change has happened, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of change. You know, that's something that the world needs more of. Change, and some of that change is spreading the love. That's why everywhere I go, I give people my undivided attention. If I don't know you, you would never tell those on the outside looking in how I greet people, how people come to me, because, you know, the saying is, I'm a person that I never meet strangers. You'll never know how I greet you or how you greet me, and I return the favor. You'll never know if I knew that person or not, because if you're happy to see me, I'm happy to see you. If you show me love, I will show you love as well. And that's what it's all about. I feel that we're all family because we are part of the human race. It's no such thing as this race and this race individual. We need each other. And for me, so many people look up to me. I motivate and inspire so many. So with that being said, when eyes is on me, even when it's not on me, I am who I am. I display a certain different person inside the ring because I must. And if you know anything about risking your life for anything, you know that you must know how to be able to turn things on. But when you know how to turn it off, it's okay. You know. So this is who I am. I'm a leader, and I'm someone that shows people the way of life and how it should be done. Because, you know, although I have so much power and so many people get intimidated of what I can do, but I also show them the other side of showing love. So I'm glad I'm a fighter, but I'm also a lover as well.
Let me ask you this, Deontay. At the press conference that we had a couple of months ago now, you had a very relaxed, peaceful, almost presidential kind of energy there. You had a great energy up there. You didn't really want any beef or conflict with anyone. And then when you went back to the US, you started doing interviews, talked about Anthony Joshua. What can we expect from you this week? What kind of energy have you got for these pressers, these face-offs? What do you think?
Well, I'm always going to be cool, calm, and collective, like as I'm always. You know, if I say something, then that means I mean what I say. It doesn't change, no matter what my tone or my environment around me is. How I feel is how I feel, you know. So I can't say one thing and then come in here and and be in front of someone and I'm not two-faced. I'm a 0 to 100. I don't have a medium. So when you hear me being here, calm, collected, saying things, and I'll go back and do interviews, it's because I still feel the same way that I feel. I do believe it's a time and a place for all things. And when I'm in an environment of certain things means peace. I'm at peace. And then certain times you in the environment, it means to really bring out your emotion, your feeling. I'm passionate about what I say. If anyone understands and knows me, they know that I'm a very passionate man. And I believe in what I believe in the things that I say and do. I'll die for what I believe in. And when you're dealing with a man that'll die for what he believes in, that's a difficult man. That's a hard man. no matter what goes on in the ring or outside of the ring. And I'm passionate about what I say. So when you have all that together, you allow others to understand and feel you even more because of your passion comes out into what your actions or what you say and what you do.
Well, Deontay, there's millions of people watching there. I reckon that there's probably about 2 words that you want to say to them. Let me give you this.
Let's get it. Bomb Squad!
Thank you so much, Deontay Wilder. Absolutely terrifying.
It gets you every time, that, doesn't it? Even though when you
It's
know it's
right.
coming. Just
I
every
mean,
time.
thank you very much, Deontay.
Thank you guys
I mean,
so much.
at that point, I even said basically, just say Bomb Squad. He said it. I still got scared.
Yeah, I still flinched. Yeah, exactly.
What do we make of his energy? I mean, he's got a presence about him, Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, sorry, and for me, another extremely confident individual, and you can understand why. When you carry the power that he does, he calls it a blessing and a curse. You can understand why, because at any split second, he can end the show.
Yeah, and what I was just. That third fight against Fury, it was just this incredible spectacle, and Fury won and deserves all the props in the world for that. But I was so impressed with Wilder because after what happened to him in the second fight, that invincibility that he'd always had before that was gone. It was shattered, and he came up with all sorts of reasons as to why he lost, which fighters do when they lose because you need to explain it to yourself. But you wondered whether he'd ever be the same again. And he was exactly the same, and he swung until his last breath, until he collapsed in a heap through pure exhaustion, basically. And I remember walking away from the T-Mobile that night just thinking, wow, you know, after what happened in the second fight, to just go straight back in there and be the same as he was before, it's not, you know, a lot of people don't manage that.
It felt like in that third Fury fight, we learnt something new about him. We always knew he could knock people out. We didn't know that he'd keep getting up if he got knocked down. He had that heart. He proved it.
Yeah, look, these are attributes that you can't train. You can't be taught. You've either got it or you haven't. You know, heart, courage, desire, that will to win. And he's got that. He showed that. He didn't get the result, but he showed he was in there and he was trying. And that's what you want to see from a fighter. You want to see a fighter leave it all in the ring. And he done it that night. And yeah, again, I have to touch on the fact, as I have a few of them, that a lot of these fighters, I can understand why, but they're happy. They're thrilled to be a part of this occasion, and it's great. I can understand why.
Look, it's a great occasion. Another man very thrilled to be part of it is, of course, RMC, who is patiently waiting, Thomas Treiber.
Let's welcome a native of Sweden, now making his home in New York City, New York, USA. He brings a professional record consisting of 26 wins, just 1 defeat, 14 wins, coming by way of knockout. Here is Otto Wallin Deontay.
Well, there he is, Otto Wallin Deontay. This is the man who has approached this week with so much confidence. Every time I've spoken to him, I believe him. He thinks he can beat Anthony Joshua on Saturday night.
100% he does. He's had loads to say in the build-up to this fight. You know, he's talked about how he feels like Joshua's mentally fragile, how he's mentally weak, how he's never really got over that defeat against Ruiz. This is stuff that Anthony's heard before numerous times, but I don't think he was necessarily expecting it from Otto Wallin because he feels familiar with him because of the amateurs and the sparring.
Yeah, I think so. But again, another extremely confident fighter.
Here he is, Mr. Otto Wallin.
Yeah, you're right.
Otto, we were just speaking about you. All good. Talking about the
You're
confidence.
bigger than us.
Yeah, just a bit. The confidence with which you've carried yourself this week in the entire build-up to this. You are here with genuine belief that you will beat Anthony Joshua on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't even be a question. I feel, of course, I'm confident. Otherwise, I wouldn't take this fight. I feel like I've shown in the past that I'm a good fighter. I gave Fury a very good fight, and I take pride in my work. I've been working very hard to come to this place where I'm at now, and I'm just here ready to take full advantage of this opportunity.
You've looked good, like you said, good win last time out. What have you made of Anthony Joshua's last few fights?
I mean, he lost to Ruiz, he lost to Usyk, and I don't think there's any shame in that. I think both guys are very good. Usyk's a terrific fighter, but I feel with Joshua that, you know, he hasn't really been that aggressive, seek and destroy kind of guy that he was known to be when he came up. And, you know, he won Olympic gold, he became a pro and was knocking everybody out, knocked out Klitschko. And, you know, he's been at the top of the mountain. So I think it's probably been hard for him to realize that he's vulnerable too, that he also can get beat. And I think maybe in the beginning he felt like, you know, I won Olympic gold, I knocked everybody out, so I can't be touched really.
So you feel it's a better time to be fighting Anthony Joshua now than it was, you know, a few years ago?
Yeah, no question. I think there's two different reasons. I think one, he hasn't really looked the same, and I've got better. So I've worked very hard, like I said, over the years to get to this place. So I feel like I'm getting better all the time, and I'm not sure that he is.
Do you think he's been a bit surprised by how vocal you've been? Because obviously you boxed in the amateurs and you sparred, and it's just struck me that he wasn't really expecting it from you.
Well, people tell me, even my girlfriend, she said, "Hey, you talked a lot of trash." I said, "Did I really? I mean, it's just the truth." And she said, "Yeah, well, the truth is, you know, it's not always what people want to hear, or you know, the other person, of course." So I feel like I'm just telling the truth. I get the question, I answer them for what I think of it. So.
But do you think that's confidence oozing out of you? These words that are coming back, usually it's slightly out of character, but is it just confidence shining through?
Well, it might be. It might be. People keep talking about my confidence. It's just, I mean, it's very natural to me. I'm just being myself. I feel very confident, and you know, I have a really good team around me, people that knows what they are doing, and they've been preparing me for this moment. And you know, now it's just the time to deliver.
How are the nerves? Because the pot of gold for the winner is huge.
Well, it would be amazing. I really, really, really want to win. I got to do everything I can to win. Yeah. But I feel like I have no pressure really. I feel like, you know, of course, I win this fight, I go on to much bigger things. But I worked so hard to be here, so I feel like it's time to enjoy it.
Where's your mentality at with this fight as in compared to the Tyson Fury fight?
I think basically the same.
Yeah?
Yeah. I felt very good going into that fight. But I would say I've improved since that fight. I felt like when I fought him, I hadn't been on that level before. So I had 12 rounds with the best in the world, with Fury. And after that, you know, had a few good fights. And now I feel like much better prepared. I've been 12 rounds a few more times. And I'm more experienced, and I feel like I'm better prepared this time.
Is that what makes you a better fighter now, the experience that you've gained?
I think so, yeah. The experience does a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, when I was growing up, it was hard to get sparring over in Sweden where I'm from, of course. And then I was living in Denmark, went there when I turned pro. Then for the past 6 years, I've been with Joey in New York and been having great sparring. So that's been a huge help for my career.
Let me ask you this, Otto. Do you think his mind is fully on Otto Wallin? There's the talk of Deontay Wilder. This week he's been involved with Jarrell Miller. There's been kind of confrontations in hotel lobbies. Is he fully focused on yourself?
I don't know. He probably is. But I think it's all good that these other people are being mentioned. And I feel like I said that I don't have any pressure. I feel like he has a lot of pressure. He has to look good in this fight to go on and fight Wilder. And he's probably very focused on me, but there's also other guys messing with him, so I think that's just good for me. And also, don't remember, he was focused on you too, so at the press conference.
It's been an interesting journey for you, hasn't it? Because when you turned pro, boxing wasn't long legal in Sweden. And I remember the first time I saw you was 2015-16 on a Sauerland Nordic fight night, I think in Denmark. And I remember just killing time in the afternoon and chatting to Joey Gamache, and he was telling me, look, I've got a real one here. He's got good, solid fundamentals, very good work ethic, good student. Did you always feel like you could get to this level?
I did. It might sound crazy, but for some reason I always believed in myself. From when I first started boxing, I had very good support with my dad, my brothers. They all believed in me very much, and I think that's been a huge help. And I always dreamt of this moment, and I believed that I could get here.
Just quickly, how do you see Wilder Parker going?
I think it's a good fight. It's no easy fight for Wilder. Depends on what Parker brings. I think if Parker comes out trying to box, he might get knocked out, but he has to really bring it to Wilder, and then I think he can win. Because Parker, he's been active, and Wilder has not been.
A lot's been made about the trainer situation. Now, you've had the same team and the same dream the whole time, right? He's making a few changes here and there. What do you think of that? Because, look, a change in trainer, it can help a fighter.
It can help, but when you change trainers that much, it's not a good sign. And we've seen it a lot in boxing. It's usually doesn't work out well. And I don't think he's gotten better since he started changing trainers. I think he had a good setup with McCracken, and then I think that he's looking for something that he can only find within himself.
Do you take confidence from that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think about it too much, but you know, I'm expecting the best Anthony Joshua, so that's what I got to do. And but you know, I don't know Ben Davison that well, but I know that when I fought Fury, after that fight, he got fired pretty much. So Fury went on to hire Sugar Hill, and then he stopped Wilder in his first fight back. So I think Fury got better when he switched trainers, to be honest.
That sounds like shots fired from Otto Wallin.
Well, it's the truth. That's all it is.
What sort of fight are you expecting from him? Because we feel like he's maybe been a bit gun-shy since that fight against Ruiz. But he rediscovered the knockout against Robert Helenius. I mean, do you feel like that'll do quite a lot for his confidence? Will he go looking for you early, do you think? Or what are you expecting?
He might. I don't know. I mean, he probably, I would guess that he's trying to come out aggressive. But at the same time, when he does, he's got to get hit with shots, and he doesn't like that. So then he might go back to what he's been doing.
We can't wait to see how this fight goes. Best of luck to you, Otto Wallin. Great to speak to you. The one and only Otto Wallin. Big task ahead on Saturday night. And stand by for Thomas Schreiber, who is now going to bring in Anthony Joshua.
Let's now welcome from Watford, England. He brings a professional record consisting of 26 wins, 3 defeats, 23 of his 26 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world, AJ Anthony Joshua.
Well, there is Anthony Joshua, former two-time unified world heavyweight champion, taking it all in. No stranger to these flashing lights, no stranger to the big nights.
No, not at all. He's had massive night after massive night. What interests me about this is the fact that him and Wallin have come last here. Does that mean that they're going to be last on Saturday? Because I know at the press conference in London, one of the reasons why he was a bit tetchy, I believe, was it wasn't just you. It was partly down to the fact that he was expecting to come up last, and in the end Wilder came up last. Is this indicative of the order we'll get, or is this, again, have they been jockeying position to achieve this?
Well, we will find out on Saturday night. Anthony Joshua, great to see you. Oh, we'll go with the fist bump. Anthony, this is your third fight in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Is this place becoming the home of boxing?
I'm not too sure. You tell me.
It seems like a great place to be. How are you enjoying Riyadh?
Just focus, really. I haven't really seen much of it. I'm just in the gym and back to my hotel.
Big fight, Andy Clark.
Yeah, huge. We were just saying that you've had big fight after big fight after big fight for such a long time now. Does fight week ever change for you? Is the process still the same as it's always been?
Process gets better. You learn more. Just lock in and fight, and just focus fully.
You're quite different to how you were yesterday. You were nice and relaxed yesterday. Today you seem to have retreated a little bit further into fight mode.
Correct.
What do you make of Wallin? Like, he's a tough opponent. We see that against Fury. The shot I'm expecting to see from you is the shot that you threw against Martin, against the southpaw, the right hand straight down the middle. Is that something you're going to be looking for?
100%. Definitely.
It's been a lively week with Jarrell Miller. He seems to be coming after you every chance he gets. What have you made of him?
The drug cheat.
Is that a fight you'd entertain?
No, definitely.
At no point, no.
No way, no. Him and Dylan will make a good fight. All good?
We will let you go, Anthony. You're fully focused. Great to speak to you.
Keeping it close.
Let's go with that one again. The one and only Anthony Joshua, so focused. I was looking at you, Andy. I thought maybe you had something.
In this game, Dev, sometimes you need to know when to quit.
Look, that's a man that is just fully focused on Saturday night. You know, you can't get blood out of a stone. I think, look, he wants that first belt. And sometimes when you sense that, there's no point prying and trying. Look, the man wants to fight.
Do you find it quite interesting though that it's Tuesday? Yesterday he was chatty, he was relaxed yesterday. I mean, to kind of flick that switch that early is quite unusual.
If I'm deadly honest, I think he's sick of all of this. I think he wants to just fight and win and prove people wrong. I think he's annoyed somewhat with the build-up in fights. I think some people take what he says out of context, maybe from time to time, but I just think he just wants to fight now. I think he's desperate just to prove how good he still is, and just seeing there, he's no desire to talk. He just wants to fight, and I don't mind that. I don't mind that when you got someone who looks so switched on and so focused. You know, he's not blasé. He's not just looking around and deer in the headlights. He's on it.
Yeah.
He's on it. And then, if anything, I listened to him there. I'm more excited for that first bell than I was before.
Yeah. If he can channel all of that. Listen, people talk about the old AJ. Is the old AJ still there? That looked like a guy who knew exactly what he wanted to do on Saturday night.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. You know, I was thinking about this the other day, and fighters who have long careers, they often come in kind of 3 acts. You know, the first act will be the amateurs, when you're doing it just for the love of it, and that's all that counts. Then act 2, you turn professional, and you're chasing the titles and the glory, and you kind of trust that the money will come with it, but it's still not even really about that. And then if you get to the final act, that's really about when you're just doing it for you. And you want the biggest fights you could get and as much money as you could get, and you don't really care what anybody's got to say about it. And I feel like that's
do you
where
know
he is.
what I like about him at this moment is you're right, he's doing it for him. And I remember asking him a little while back, I think he was at the presser for the Dillian White fight, and I said to him, is the goal still to be a 3-time world champion? He said, yes, absolutely. You know, he's earned millions and millions. He's ticked lots of boxes, but he's doing this because he wants to make more history, create more legacy. And you can see it in his eyes there. He's desperate to prove people wrong and to really turn some heads.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, he's going to turn heads no matter what he does. Every step that he takes, everything that he says on a mic, everything he does gets heavily scrutinised by the boxing world and the public. It must be a lot of pressure to live under.
Yeah, it is. And it's impossible to imagine what that's like, basically. And, you know, the world can be a very fickle place. And you look at what he's achieved, like Darren said, in a really short space of time, too, given when he took up boxing. It's absolutely absurd, to be honest, that you take up boxing in 2008, in 2018 you're Olympic gold medalist and unified heavyweight champion of the world. I mean, it's borderline impossible. And then of course you lose, and the world's a very binary place these days. Either somebody's the best or they're rubbish. Either you're for something or you're against it. And he's found that out the hard way. And it must be hard, because as much as you say you don't care what people think and all the rest of it, God, I don't know what it would be like if any stranger in the street just had an opinion on everything you did.
Yeah.
Well, listen, viewers at home could currently see Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder both on their screens. Listen, my mouth is watering, Darren. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's putting you off.
Well, I am stepping slightly away. But that's the fight. Look, enjoy Saturday night, everybody, because it's a great card. 2 brilliant semi-finals, if you want to call them that. But if we ever are so lucky to see that Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder fight, we are in for a real treat. Can you imagine, right, and again, not looking past Saturday, can you imagine the energy just before that first bell of them two fighting, staring at each other in the opposite corner?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's incredible.
Absolutely, because it has been a long time coming, but he's right. Deontay Wilder was right in what he said. I don't really feel like the gloss has gone off it, despite the fact that they've both lost since, because they've had their ups and their downs, and they're both looking for kind of redemptions of different kinds. It makes it bigger almost.
It adds to the story. Look, listen, we saw Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. We wanted it at that point, probably in about 2009, and it grew and it grew and it grew, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. I think that's kind of happened here.
Yeah. Look, it probably for them in their careers, as far as prime's concerned, it would have happened a little while ago. But as far as building it up, because you're finally going to get what you've been after, in that sense, it's bigger. But it's just, I mean, it's looking very exciting. The format or the map for the heavyweight division, I'm really excited about it.
Listen, people are talking about Otto Wallin for Anthony Joshua as a bit of a banana skin, and one of the reasons they mention is the southpaw stance and how Anthony Joshua, of course, struggled with Usyk. But when he won the world title, did he not knock out a southpaw?
But that's exactly what I said to him. That right hand, it's textbook, absolute textbook. All right, okay, is it the same Anthony Joshua? But that right hand is what you do. You know, he slipped on the outside and he threw the right hand straight down the middle of the southpaw stance. It was spot on. You don't lose that. That's there. That know-how is there. And I think, look, for me, not to get too technical, but feet are crucial here. Wallin can move for a big guy, very nimble, and it's important for AJ to bring his feet in to land that right hand. He doesn't want to be overreaching. If he's throwing the hand before he throws the foot, he's going to overreach and he can get caught with something. So feet are key, but yeah, the right hand, for me, for Anthony Joshua, is the shot that will and could do the damage.
I did think his feet were better against Hellenius.
Yeah,
I felt like he committed with his feet more, got himself closer and threw that right hand. And he was talking to us yesterday about, you know, when he's on the pads at the minute, he's really looking to punch through the pad. It's not just it's not just a drill. He's looking to punch with bad intentions all the time, and that's what you need to do at heavyweight. And in terms of struggling against Usyk,
it's Usyk.
It's Usyk.
Who doesn't?
Exactly,
Who doesn't?
it's Usyk. I mean, look, don't give yourself a hard time there. And he's just been beaten twice by an exceptional generational talent.
I don't know about you. Do you feel like that second performance against Usyk might age well?
Yeah, I think so.
People remember what happened after the fight, basically, don't they? But the
Yeah.
performance in the ring, I feel like it could age quite well.
Yeah, and I hope AJ's taking some sort of confidence away from that. Thinking, look, I did improve. I lost, yes, but I did improve. And I've just been beaten by a very good fighter.
What do we think of the link up with Ben Davison? You know, people are talking about how it's only 6 weeks, but they've been together for a little bit longer. They've been around each other for a little bit longer. But this is the first time Ben Davison will be the lead trainer, the lead voice in that corner. What do we make of this, Darren?
Look. It's hard for me to answer this because I had the same coach from start to finish. I had 10 years with Tony Sims, but for other fighters, it's another string to their bow. You know, more tricks, more, you know, different ways of throwing certain shots, a different approach to camp, being happy, learning new tricks. And Ben, I've been really impressed with Ben. Ben knows his boxing. He knows how to read a fight very well. He's got a good team around him that study videos of opponents. They come up with, you know, accurate pinpoint plans. And AJ's an intelligent man. He'll follow a plan. So it could work out to be a very good partnership.
He's a very meticulous coach, Andy.
Yeah, he is, absolutely, and you know, he's been through it the last few years because he's had lots of criticism. You know, he talked about the highs and lows that Anthony's had. He's been through something similar because you appear on the scene and you're with Tyson Fury, and then people can't wait to criticise you, and that's just how it goes. And he's got all that experience at a young age. And what it comes down to mostly with a fighter and a trainer, as I've always understood it, is trust.
Yeah.
That Anthony needs to trust that Ben Davison will tell him the right thing at the right time. And at this stage of his career, given how crucial it is, he must have identified that trust quite quickly, or they just quite simply wouldn't be doing this.
I want to talk about Joe Parker. Now, we talked about earlier how Deontay Wilder, in that fight with Tyson Fury, the third fight, we learnt something new about him. We learnt how much heart he's got, how much of a warrior he is. I feel like we learnt that about Joe Parker against Joe Joyce. What do you think?
Yeah, look, I said it there. I can't believe he's first. He won.
Unbelievable.
Looks very well. Fighting as good as I've seen him fight. Again, Simon Keane is no Deontay Wilder, but you can only beat who's in front of you, and he looks very good. What I was impressed with was his hand speed. Very, very quick hands. Sometimes that's one of the first things you lose as you get a bit older. Again, only 31, but you know, he's been boxing a long time. Sometimes the speed can just dip, but if anything, his is increased, and speed generates power. There's just an experience feel about him and know-how about him. His ring IQ's grown and gone to another level, and I think you can see that there. Sometimes you can see, I certainly can, I can see people that are hiding behind a fake personality or hiding behind words. When I see that man walk over and he's full of confidence, that's real, that's true. He's not fazed by who's in front of him, and that's saying something when you're facing Wilder. So I've been asking myself this question, as many have. What is the harder fight? Who's got the harder opponent, Wilder or AJ? And
I think it's Wilder.
I will probably say Wilder. Okay.
You change your mind tomorrow, by the way.
No, but I've changed my mind probably today after seeing Parker.
Okay.
The way his demeanour, the way he looks, the feel, and what he's saying, he believes in himself. You know, he's got that heritage, that fighting spirit, and he doesn't look phased, and he's, like I say, full of confidence.
Well, that fighting spirit is what I'm referring to in the Joe Joyce fight. He showed in that fight he's willing to go out until he's absolutely done. He went out on his shield in that fight.
Yeah, he did, and you know, it's a phrase that people throw around a lot in boxing, and I think sometimes it rolls out of people's mouths a bit too easily when we demand that a fighter goes out on their shield. You know, you need to think about what you're saying there. You're demanding of them that they're basically going to risk dying. You know, I'm not sensationalising. That can be what's at stake, and that's a hell of an ask. But against Joyce, you know, he was right in there throwing up until the very end, and you know, not for 1 second did I question Andy for leaving him in there, because he kept hitting Joe Joyce with massive shots, and at some point you think one's going to register. And I think the training link up, the training change for him has been really good, because they were a great partnership, him and Kevin Barry. But training with Andy and also being around Tyson Fury, I think has been great for him, because previously he was kind of the only fighter in the camp, as I understand it. This time around, you know, it's a new voice, which you need sometimes, but you're around other people, and I think that as you get older, particularly, does it make it easier to have a bit of a team?
Yeah, it's the big fish, small pond sort of scenario, and success breeds success. Parker will be buzzing being surrounded by these, you know, wanting to outdo even Tyson Fury, want to be the best in the gym, want to, you know, emulate what his friend has done, and it's only a positive thing. It's only a positive thing.
Well, it's a hell of a camp to be a part of. It is the camp, essentially, that has masterminded beating Deontay Wilder. Tyson's made it very clear in terms of his advice to Joe Parker. He just says, keep out the way at the right hand, you'll be all right.
Yeah, he's got the know-how as well, Parker, as well. He you know, he's cute at times, got good feet, quick hands, like I say, and I'm pretty sure we'll see lots and lots and lots of feints in that fight, try and draw out the lead and fire back with sharp counters. Again, similar to one of the other fights that I spoke about early on, it's about being busy but not greedy. Don't hold your feet and stand in the pocket too long. You know, land your shots, move your feet and go again. It is pretty simple, if I'm honest. I mean, it's a case.
Do you want to do it?
Just no, no. But just literally, don't get hit. Pick your shots, move your feet, and
really commit to the punch, because I absolutely believe that they do think they're going to knock Wilder out. Because Andy, for example, Andy Lee, you know, I mean, he was a really, really good amateur. He wasn't a puncher when he was an amateur, but he went to the Kronk and they taught him how to punch, and all of a sudden he's chinning people. So they are looking for the finish, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think Deontay Wilder is underrated? Because what we've just heard there, you know, what you've said as well about how to beat him, what Tyson Fury said to Joe Parker about keep out the way of the right hand, are we underrating him? This is an Olympic bronze medalist. He's done good things as an amateur.
I think his boxing ability does tend to get underrated, because he's got that bronze medal, and technique's an interesting thing to discuss, isn't it? And simply put, a good technique is one that works. Now, it might not be in the manual, the way he throws the shots. It might not be something that an England boxing coach would or even should teach, but you do what works for you. And when he throws that long right hand, that 1-2, I mean, that is pretty textbook, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. He throws it correctly. He commits to the shot. He fully rotates through the shots and gets himself in a good position after to move his head. I wouldn't say I'm overlooking his boxing ability, but I'm looking at how does Parker beat him. And I would say his best chance is to be cute, smart and disciplined, as opposed to slugging out with Wilder, because there's only going to be one winner there. If you're trading hooks with Wilder, that's not, you know, it's a suicide mission. I think it's about being smart, making the big puncher. Look, I've said this time and time again, sometimes a fighter's best asset can be their biggest downfall. And with Wilder, though he punches so hard, sometimes you can get a bit gun-ho and you're looking for the heavy shot every single time, becoming a little predictable. And I think that's what Parker will be hoping for, that he does become a bit predictable. He does get a bit like a gun-ho and looking for the knockout, and sometimes that can be putty in your hands. You can sort of do what you want to do a bit easier.
Do you think that Joshua and Wilder will be trying to outdo each other?
Definitely,
on Saturday?
definitely, 100%. Look, if we were to ask them both now,
they'd say no.
They'd say no.
But yeah,
it's just about winning, so we can get that. But no doubt, if AJ's in the changing room, I'm pretty sure the monitor's going to be on, and there'll be one eye on what's going on, and he'll have one eye out there. I'm pretty sure I'd want to anyway. You know, it's an individual sport. Yeah, highly competitive, and you want to outdo your rivals.
Listen, we've got about a minute to go. I just want to sort of round up a little bit on the card. What is the fight that people are overlooking? What do you think, Andy? What's the sleeper on the card?
I like Dubois against Jarrell Miller. I like that fight because it is make or break for Daniel, as Frank said to us. It is, because there are question marks. We all know what they are. How much does he want it? And Miller will want it. So if Dubois is going to beat him, he's going to have to be disciplined, stick to the plan, and maybe dig in there at times. And we need to know that he can do it.
So many great fights on this. What's your sort of sleeper, Darren?
Well, I like the light heavy and the cruiserweight fight. I think there's something in those. Zorro, an unknown quantity, even to many back home. In the UK, Lyndon Arthur, we've seen how good he is when he sticks to a game plan. He's got a very good jab. He's very hard to beat. But they're in there with two monsters, like beasts of opponents. You know, two of the best out there. But boxing's a funny old game. You know, I've seen crazier things. So it's one of those, top to bottom, we're in for a real treat.
Very quickly, one-word answer from both of you guys. Is Joshua going to win, and is Wilder going to win?
I think they'll both win.
I mean, it could go either way.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, but I do believe they'll both win, and we'll see that massive fight very soon.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow for the workout.